Hey everyone. Welcome back to the English Leap Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Emma. Thank you for joining us today. We're really glad you're here.
Today's topic is one that touches every person, especially those who are learning something new, like English. We're talking about the danger of comparing yourself to others.
It's a quiet danger, David. Something many people don't even realize they're doing, but it can slowly destroy your confidence, your joy, and your love for learning.
Yes. And I think we all do it, Emma. I've done it. I've compared myself to friends, to strangers, to people online, and every time I did, it left me feeling smaller.
I've felt that too. Especially when I started learning English, I used to sit in class, listen to others speak, and think, why can't I speak like them? And that voice in my head would say, you're not smart enough. You're too slow.
That voice. I know it well. It's the voice of doubt, and comparison feeds that voice. It gives it power.
Exactly. And you know what's sad? We forget that every person has a different story. A different starting point. A different path.
Yes. Some people grow up hearing English at home. Others start learning it in their 30s, 40s, or 50s. How can we compare those two journeys?
We can't. But we do. Because we want to feel we're doing okay, and when we see someone doing better, we think, I must be behind.
That word, behind, it hurts, because it makes you feel like there's one race, one clock, and you're losing.
But learning isn't a race. Life isn't a race. We all grow at different speeds. And that's okay.
Let me ask you, Emma, was there a moment where comparison really hit you hard?
Yes. I remember in university, we had to give a speech in English. I worked so hard on mine. I practiced for days, then I watched another girl give her speech. She was so fluent, so natural, I felt embarrassed. Like my effort didn't matter.
That's painful. And I think so many listeners can relate to that.
But here's what I learned later. That girl had lived in the US for years. English was almost like a second first language for her, so my comparison wasn't fair. But I didn't know that.
That's such a common situation. We compare results, but not the story behind the results.
Yes. We don't see the full picture. We just see the surface, and judge ourselves based on that.
And the truth is, comparison makes you forget your own progress. You stop seeing how far you have come because you're looking at how far someone else is.
It also kills motivation. When you believe you'll never catch up, you start asking, why even try?
And many people stop learning because of that. They say, I'm too late. Or I'll never be as good. But what they don't realize is, you don't need to be better than anyone. You just need to keep growing.
Exactly. Your only competition is your past self. If you're better than yesterday, that's enough.
Let's talk about social media. Because it plays a huge role in comparison now.
Oh yes, you open Instagram or YouTube, and you see people speaking English perfectly. Posting achievements. Big smiles.
But what you don't see is their pain. Their failures. Their silent nights of fear and doubt.
Right. You don't see how long it took. You don't see the struggle behind the smile.
And that creates a dangerous illusion. You think, They're so perfect. I'm so far behind.
But it's not real. It's just the best part of their story, and we compare that to our messiest part.
That's not fair to ourselves. It's like comparing someone's highlight reel to our behind the scenes.
Exactly. And yet, we do it. Every day, and it hurts our self-worth. Our self-love.
So, what can we do? How do we stop comparing?
The first step is to be aware, notice when it happens. When you see someone online or in real life and feel small, pause. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way?
And remind yourself their journey is not your journey, they have different challenges, different support, different life.
And you can choose to celebrate others without feeling less about yourself.
Yes. Someone else's success is not your failure. Their growth does not mean you're shrinking.
And another step is gratitude. When you focus on what you do have, what you have learned, what you can do, you start feeling proud again.
Gratitude builds confidence. It reminds you of the wins you forgot. The things that once felt hard but now feel easy.
Yes. Like maybe you couldn't say one full sentence a year ago. And now you can speak for 5 minutes.
That's huge. But comparison blinds us from seeing that.
Let's say this clearly for anyone listening, you are not behind. You are not too late. You are on your way.
And there's no one like you. No one with your story, your heart, your voice.
So stop trying to be like someone else. The world doesn't need a copy, it needs you.
You know, Emma, I used to think success meant being the best. Now I realize. It means being true to who I am. Being proud of my own growth.
That's beautiful, David, and I think, for English learners especially, that's so important. Your voice matters. Even with mistakes. Even with pauses. Even if it's not perfect.
Yes. Because when you speak with heart, people feel it, and that matters more than perfect grammar.
So speak. Try. Learn. But don't compare, you are doing something brave. Something powerful.
And one day, someone will look at you and say, "Wow, I want to be like them."
So keep going. For you, because your journey is worth it.
And whenever you feel comparison rising, pause. Breathe. Come back to your path.
Trust your timing. Trust your pace. Trust your voice.
And be kind to yourself. You're doing better than you think.
Always.
You know what else I've noticed, Emma? Sometimes, comparison doesn't come from outside, it comes from our own past.
Yes. Like when we say, I used to be better, or I was more confident before. We compare ourselves to who we were, and feel like we've failed now.
Exactly. And that kind of comparison can be just as harmful. It can make you feel like your best days are behind you.
But the truth is, you're not the same person you were. Life changes. Circumstances change. And that's okay, growth is not always straight. Sometimes you move forward. Sometimes you pause. Sometimes you fall.
And all of it is still part of the journey, even your low points are teaching you something.
Yes. You might not be growing fast, but you're still growing. And even if it doesn't look like success on the outside, your strength is building on the inside.
I love that, And for English learners, just showing up every day, even when it's hard, that's strength.
It really is. People often wait until they feel confident to start speaking. But real confidence comes after you try, not before.
Exactly, and if you're comparing yourself to someone who's speaking fluently, just remember, they probably had to go through months or years of trying, failing, and trying again.
And they probably had moments of doubt too. No one just wakes up fluent.
So true, Emma, comparison often makes us silent. We stop using our voice.
Yes, because we think, why should I speak? Someone else can say it better. But imagine a world where only perfect speakers were allowed to speak. It would be so quiet.
That's a powerful thought. So many people would stay silent, and so much beauty would be lost.
Because sometimes, it's not the perfect speaker who touches your heart, it's the one who speaks honestly. With courage.
That's why I always say, don't aim to be perfect. Aim to be real, that's where connection happens.
Yes. And real speakers make real impact. People remember how you made them feel, not how flawless your grammar was.
Exactly, and let's be honest, even native speakers make mistakes. We do it all the time.
All the time, but we don't stop speaking. So why should English learners?
That's a great point, so maybe instead of comparing, we need to replace it with compassion.
Yes. Compassion for ourselves, understanding that we're trying. We're learning. We're growing.
And we need to celebrate that. Every step, even the small ones.
Like learning a new word. Or finally understanding a podcast. Or sending your first message in English.
All of that deserves celebration.
You know, David, I once taught a student who was very quiet. She was always afraid to speak because she thought her English wasn't good enough.
I've had students like that too.
But one day, I asked her to help a new student who didn't speak any English at all. She started guiding her gently, using simple English, and by the end of the week, the new student said, "She's the only one who makes me feel safe here."
Wow. That's beautiful.
And it hit me, her English may not have been advanced, but her heart was, her kindness, her courage. They spoke louder than her words.
That story says so much. Sometimes, we compare our English to others and feel small. But someone else may be inspired by you.
Yes. You may not see it, but someone out there is looking at you and thinking, if they can do it, maybe I can too.
So be visible. Be open. Be honest about your journey.
You don't have to be perfect to help others. You just have to be real.
And I want to say this to every listener out there, if you're comparing yourself today, it's okay, but don't stay in that feeling. Breathe. Reflect. And remind yourself of your path.
Your journey matters. It's valid. It's enough, and you are allowed to grow at your own pace.
Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, but presence, being where you are, brings it back.
Yes. And let's be honest, life is hard enough. We don't need to add more pain by being unkind to ourselves.
Exactly. We need more self-love. More grace. More acceptance.
So let's practice that today. Let's speak to ourselves with the same kindness we'd give a friend.
Because we deserve that.
And for anyone struggling, just know, you're not alone, everyone compares sometimes. But you can choose to stop.
You can choose to be proud of your story. Your voice. Your fight.
And every step forward, no matter how small, is still a step.
So keep going. Keep growing, and remember, your voice matters exactly as it is.
Because there is no one else like you.
Thank you for being with us today. We hope this conversation reminded you of your worth and helped you take back your power.
And if you ever forget it again, come back and listen to this. We'll be right here.
We're proud of you. Truly.
Keep learning. Keep living. And never forget, you don't need to compare. You just need to believe.
See you in the next episode, friends.
Take care. And stay kind to yourself.